Hey Habibi, you look pretty cute today, which is why I wanted to show you how to truly have tawakkul in Allah. Because understand, when you really have tawakkul of Allah, this is where doing anything in your life becomes so easy. Like starting a business becomes easy. Going to school, if you're going to school, it's gonna become easy. Driving is gonna become easy. Overthinking, you wouldn't even do it. Why? Because you have tawakkul of Allah. But what if I told you like 99% of the people that are Muslim nowadays, they don't have tawakkul of Allah. They think they do, but none of them do. Because if you truly did have tawakkul of Allah, would you still be worried? Would you still be anxious? Would you still be depressed? And I'm saying within worldly matters. Don't be telling me like, oh, but Muhammad used to worry about the ummah and all that stuff. That's not a worldly matter. I'm talking about worldly matters. Would you be worried about paying the bill? Would you be worried about, oh, this bill is so expensive, this thing is so expensive? Would you be worried about any of those things that are like so little? You wouldn't be. But the only reason why you are right now is because you don't have tawakkul of Allah. Before I tell you how to truly have tawakkul of Allah, let me give you an analogy. This is just an analogy, by the way, so don't be saying it's like, what the heck? Let's just pretend that the ocean is Allah. Just an analogy. If you right now take a glass bottle, just like this is plastic, but let's just pretend it's a glass bottle with no marks and blah, blah, blah. If I go and then I scoop some water from the ocean, wouldn't like inside the cup we will have water? We're saying right now that water is the spirit. And we have like a bunch of glass bottles. The glass bottle though is the body. So this is the body, but what's within, which is the water, that's the spirit. When you use the bottle a lot, so when you use your body a lot, not the bottle, the cup, wouldn't the cup start to get a bit like stained? It'll start to get like dusty. It'll start to become dirty. What this symbolizes is that as you go through the world, as you live through the world of form, which is the world of dunya, what's going to happen to your glass cup, which is your body, is that it's going to become stained. And so when it becomes stained, you can't really see the spirits through the cup. Depending on the staining, depending on how dirty it is, you wouldn't be able to see the water through the cup. Most people nowadays, they have dirty cups, very stained cups. So what happens is that the more you stain your cup, the more that you wouldn't be able to even have light passing through the bottle. You wouldn't even be able to tell that there is water inside this cup. What this symbolizes is that you're already born perfect. Like your fitrah is already perfect. Your innate state of being is that of perfection. So you don't need to add any more things into your life. If someone comes and tells you it's like the only reason why you're lacking to do this is because you have to become this, understand that you don't need to become anybody to do anything. You're already perfect. This is why when you look at children, 4-year-olds or younger, children are more alpha than teenagers. Children have more confidence than teenagers. Children, they have more tawakkul than teenagers. And also adults, not just teenagers, even adults. Like some children have more tawakkul in Allah than the parents themselves. Why is that? It's because their glass cup is not stained yet. So this is the beautiful thing. Allah has put us into this world, literally with glass cups, and Allah has given us the way to remove the stains. And by the way, just so you know, just a side point, the fact that water is the spirit, water came from the ocean, like you understand why we say inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, because we actually come from Allah. This shows that if you actually clean the cup, you clean it, you remove the stains from it, this is where you'll see the qualities of the water are going to start to shine. They're literally going to start to shine. Like this is why they say it's like a droplet is going to have the same characteristics as the entire ocean. You understand, like all of these are ayat in the world. These are all signs from Allah within the world, which is so beautiful. So again, once you just clean the glass cup, the same qualities, Habibi, the same qualities of the 99 names of Allah, they're going to start shining through you. Again, does that mean that this is you? That's not you, because you're the glass cup, or what you think you are is the glass cup, which is the body. The true you is the water, the spirit. By the way, this is such a crazy analogy, so I'm hoping you're understanding this. So then, now what I'm saying to you is that once you clean it, that is how you're going to start embodying the same characteristics, and this is how tawakkul is going to become a lot easier. Now, how do you actually clean the glass cup? The way to clean it, just like what Allah told us, through dhikr. Dhikr. Allah says in the Quran, it's like the more that you're disconnected from Allah, the more you'll start having depression in your life. So the people that are disconnected from Allah, they'll have depression in their lives because now they're walking through the world like they're blind. And it's so crazy because Allah literally says that in the Quran that they'll be in the day of judgment, they're gonna walk around blind. And they're like, how was I blind in this day of judgment? I was able to see back then, which in reality they weren't able to see in both days. Dhikr is just basically remembrance remembrance. You understand, just through the act of remembering, you're literally cleaning the body, you're literally cleaning the heart, you're cleaning your whole being. So there's a quote right here that says, surrendering to God is like a pebble surrendering to become the mountain, or like a droplet of water surrendering to become the ocean. You see, like, it's all ayat of Allah, man. So then the water that's inside here, if this water surrenders, it's going to become the ocean. It's going to go back to the ocean. So it's like if you just take it and then you pour it in the ocean, it becomes the ocean. This is so powerful. So through the act of dhikr, you clean yourself. So most of you guys are lacking tawakkul because you're dirty. Your cup is dirty. Like, what more can I say? It's all of it is just dirty. And by the way, there's books like these, Psycho-Cybernetics. Such books, they come and tell you it's like all you have to do is just fix your self-image, and it does work. But this is just level 2. The highest level of truly changing your life, of doing anything you want in life, making your reality, your dream reality true, is just letting the will of Allah shine through you, letting the characteristics of Allah shine through you. So the characteristics of love, the characteristics of power, the characteristics of like independence, Al-Ghani, like all these the 99 names of Allah, once they shine through you, you become so powerful. And then when you start making the cup dirty again, this is when you notice that your power starts to decrease. Because again, it's not you that's doing anything, by the way. It's not you that's making the money. It's not you that's finding the wife. It's not you that's becoming powerful. None of that is you. All of it is Allah. And then once you bring yourself into the whole equation, things start to get tainted. Things start to get they start to break apart. When you let go, things start to work. So in order for you to let go, you just have to do dhikr. That's all it is. And now if you're going to come and tell me, it's like, well, how do I do dhikr? The act of remembering that Allah is always watching, that in of itself is the highest form of dhikr. Why? Because you're being identified with one of the names of Allah, which is Ar-Raqib, which is so powerful, man. This is extremely powerful. So when you realize that the entire work is to live through the world with no thoughts, and you're just flowing with the will of Allah, this is when you'll realize the entire dunya life is actually very easy. Achieving any of the worldly matter stuff, it's actually very easy. And this is when having tawakkul of Allah is actually very easy. Why is it easy? Because your mind is not active. When your mind becomes active, it starts to doubt in the power of Allah. Because by the way, understand, the brain in itself, the brain is such a kafir, bro. Anytime the brain brings itself into the equation, it's such a disbeliever, because the brain does not believe anything until it sees it naturally. This is why you need so many logical arguments and all that stuff. You don't need any of the logical stuff. You do realize all you need is just to suspend your thoughts, flow into the world, see the touch of Allah happening in your life, making your life unfold step by step, live. You'll see literally your life being unfolded live. When you see that, this is when it's you go from a believer to now you have yaqeen. You have what's it called? I forgot. This is when you have conviction. And having conviction, yaqeen, conviction, is way better than just being a believer. Because the believer is I believe it, but I'm still a bit doubtful. Something can just come and then just ruin the faith. But then when you have conviction, it's Habibi, what the heck? I've already seen it. You're going to come and tell me it doesn't work? I've already seen it so many times happening in my life. So how are you going to come and tell me it doesn't work? So again, for you to truly have tawakkul of Allah, go through the world, move your arms around, do things on the outside, but on the inside, you're constantly remembering Allah. Your hands are moving, but your being is with Allah. Your being is not overthinking. Your being is not even thinking on what to do, how do I do. It's not thinking about any of that. You're just flowing into the world. And by the way, anybody that just gets into this whole flow state, this is when you see even athletes, they start to perform a lot better. When you're studying, you start to get better marks. When you're running a business, you'll just start to do it so much better, because at this point, again, it's not you. And this is so beautiful. This is literally all you need. If you're looking to 100x your life and you're how do I do that? This is all you need. If you're looking to Allah's not accepting my dua, it's because you're coming in the way. You're coming in the way. You can't make Allah accept your dua. You can't even fulfill your dua. It's only Allah that can do that. But the only reason why you're not seeing the dua being accepted is because you're coming into the way too much. The only reason why you can't have tawakkul is because you're living from your own mind. So your mind doesn't even trust itself. You don't even trust yourself. And you shouldn't trust yourself, because yourself is limited. But Allah is unlimited. And the only way to be finally connected with Allah is just through that dhikr. By the way, you'll see all of the teachings in Islam, they're all bringing you back to this one concept. All of them are bringing you back to this one concept. because this is the only concept you need. This is literally the concept of La ilaha illallah. You don't need any more of that. So I'm hoping this video was helpful. If it was, man, just let me know.